John, you as a team might not have been quite at your best at the weekend, but just how much of a sickener was it to lose in the end by a deflected goal?
Yeah, it was a sickener. We weren't quite at the races. Don't think we deserved to lose the game, but we lost it. We can't really blame anyone but ourselves. We didn't turn up, and you get punished in this league if you don't turn up, and that's what happened on Saturday.
Why do you feel over the kind of last month or so the performances have been a little bit more inconsistent as a group?
I don't know. It's hard to put a finger on it. We've shown how good we are in some games, and in other games we haven't quite had that intensity. We've had kind of players in and out as well with injuries and stuff, so it's hard to pinpoint it, but we can only look at ourselves. We have to try and bring as much intensity to every game as we can to give ourselves the best chance of winning games.
I mean, there's so many teams involved in that race for promotion at the minute. You kind of have to accept that the league table is going to keep moving every match day between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, we've seen it before. The last time we were in the Championship, how quick things can change. You drop down a few places if you lose a game. You go up a few places if you win a game. So you have to just try and take it game by game. Give everything to prepare and go out and put on a good performance for the next game and see where that takes you at the end of the season.
You mentioned there's been plenty of players out. There still are a few players out. Is it good to have started to get a few back, though, from injury? The situation before the international break had got out of hand a little bit.
Yeah, it was crazy. I've never really seen anything like it. I suppose from January onwards, it felt like we were losing someone every game. So it was quite tough to take, but we've shown, we've got a squad, and lads who have come in have done really well and stepped up to the plate, and I think that's what you need, especially with the run of games we had. Obviously, our games at Christmas got called off, so we had to catch up on them. So it gave us a tougher schedule. So it all mounts up. You need your squad, and the lads who have come in have done well, and that's what you need going forward.
Don't like singling individuals out, but in terms of Chris Basham missing, do you miss not just him as a player, but as a character, as a driving force and everything else? Because he was one of the players that when he got back into the team when Paul took over, you could just see what he adds to the group. Yeah,
definitely. I think I've said it about Bashy in the past. He's a phenomenal person, a phenomenal player and a phenomenal teammate. He's a huge loss for us, and that goes without saying. The lads that have come in, have done well, in his absence. But we all know that how important a player Chris Basham is for this football club and for this team.
Do you have to get behind the likes of Gordon and Jebison and Osula that have come into the side recently? They've all got the chance, which is great to see, but they clearly need the support of the more senior players like yourself.
Definitely, yeah. You need to encourage them. They've come in and done brilliant given their young age, and you have to, they have to try and do well. It's crunch time in the season, so anyone coming in now, the pressure is on. The pressure is on to do well, and I think they obviously see it so far, but you kind of come into a team at this stage of the season, you kind of see what's on the line. It goes without saying.
And just because he's in similar position to you, Kieran Gordon, he's obviously got plenty more time than he expected. How do you think he's done, and what do you think the future looks like for him?
Yeah, he's adapted really well. He came in, I think, was his first start Millwall away. There's not many tougher games in the Championship than Millwall away, and I thought he done brilliant. And he's got a really good future ahead of him if he keeps his head down and keeps working hard. And that's the same for all the young lads. Talent will take you so far, but you have to have the attitude. And I think as long as the lads like Kai and Jebo show the right attitude, they'll have a good future. But they're obviously thinking that if they're called in the present to give a performance, that they're up to the task, and you need players to think like that.
Is now the time to really try and build some momentum once again, get on another winning run, because the games are clearly running out and it's going to be a really intense run now to the end of the season?
Yeah, we're looking ahead to the next game, not looking past it, and it's important to go out there. We're at home under the lights, and it's important to go out and try and get the 3 points.
How vital is it that 5 of the remaining 7 games are at home? It was pegged earlier in the season that you got a lot of home games coming up. That could be a real plus, couldn't it, over those coming weeks?
Hopefully, yeah. Our home form has been brilliant, and we have to try and keep that going. As I said, tomorrow night is the next game, and all of our focus is on that now.
How much is the experience of what happened last season in the Premier League and coming back down, motivating you all right now to try and get back there at the first attempt and to maybe show a few people and prove a few people wrong?
I don't know really. I just think that we're just trying to do well for ourselves. We're trying to do well for the football club. We all want to get promoted. That's what every team coming into the start of the season wants to do. But if you start looking too far ahead and thinking about other people and other factors, then it takes you off the track. So no, we want to do well for this team and for the manager and for this football club, and we've got it all to do. We're outsiders now. We're out of the top six, and we have to try and get the 3 points tomorrow night.
Knowing that you have got promoted before, though, there's still a lot of the same group around. Do you feel that will help and give you potentially a little bit of an edge over the coming weeks, that you have done it, so you've gone through that?
Yeah, listen, we've got a lot of experience in the group. A lot of us have done it before, but every season is a new season. This season is a lot different to last season. We went up, and as I said there, you have to take it game by game. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to focus on the next game, the next challenge, and try and get the 3 points.
Thoughts on QPR? There's a challenge coming up. Clearly, they're a team as well that's got some ambitions around the playoffs, but an opportunity tomorrow to put a little bit of daylight between yourselves.
We haven't obviously played them this season because I think this is the rearranged game. So it's another team who've kind of had a similar season to ourselves. Really, they're in a similar position. So they'll obviously be fighting for the 3 points as much as we will. So we're going to have to. We've done our homework on them. We've done our training, and it's up to us now to go out there tomorrow night and try and earn the 3 points. Familiar
face in Jeff Hendrick as well from the international scene. Is it always interesting? Does it add a little bit when you come up against players that you play with for your country?
Yeah, Jeff's a good mate of mine. We played together since we were about 15 or 16. So we played against him before. It'll be good to play against him tomorrow. But the old friendship will have to go out the window for 90 plus minutes, and we'll have a chat after the game.
Is it something when you meet up that you talk about? Because obviously you've just been away with the international lads as well.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But when we're away with Ireland, it's good to see all the lads, and obviously if you're playing against each other soon or just before the international break, you'd always kind of have a chat about it. Yeah.
Did you play with Kieran Westwood as well for Ireland?
Yeah.
A little bit, because I saw like time frame wise, he crossed over a little bit.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I was with Kieran at Sunderland as well. I was kind of in the U team coming up when he was at Sunderland, so I know him a long time too. He's obviously just signed for QPR, and he's shown what a good keeper he is down the years, and it'll be good to catch up with him after the game as well.
As a former Sheffield Wednesday player, though, and knowing him as a character, he'll relish a game like this, won't he?
Yeah, definitely. I think, to be honest, my sole focus is on ourselves, and I've said it about 100 times in this interview. We're just focusing on the game tomorrow night.
Just a final one along the island theme. Chidozie Awaziem, we saw him yesterday score an absolute screamer in the final at Wembley. Clearly an overhead kick against Belgium in the international break. Just how impressed have you been with him and what he can bring to the country?
Very impressed, yeah. He's come in, he's got his chance and he's took it, and it's great to see. Really hard-working guy, really humble guy, and he's going out there on the international stage against big countries, big teams, and proving himself. So it's brilliant.